Hello, and welcome to another video from 3.5 Archive. Today, we're going to be doing another D&D 3.5 Prestige class review, and we're going to be looking at the Astral Dancer Prestige class from the Planar Handbook. Astral Dancers perfect the art of fighting in the zero-gravity realm of the Astral Plane. They learn to imagine solid footing and use it to alter their subjective gravity. So this Prestige class helps you be an agile fighter in the Astral Plane and similar planar environments. As such, it is already quite specialized in concept, but for a campaign set there, or a group of NPCs that lurk there, it has promise. Let's take a look. To become an Astral Dancer, you need 8 ranks in balance and 8 ranks in jump, and you also need dodge, mobility, and spring attack for feats. Many people might be groaning already, as spring attack is not known for being a fantastic feat to say the least, let alone needing to take its 2 prerequisite feats as well. By level 5, it will take playing a human and using up all of your feats, or playing a fighter and using up slightly fewer of them to qualify for this Prestige class. And a fighter will have a hard time meeting the skill prerequisites. This Prestige class seems to be geared toward a rogue or monk, but it will eat up all of their feats, leaving the rogue without 2-up in fighting, weapon finesse, improved initiative, or other staple rogue feats. This Prestige class's requirements are very restrictive, requiring 3 feats and full ranks and 2 different skills to get into it by level 5. Let's take a look at whether it's worth it from what it gives you. As an Astral Dancer, you get a D8 hit die, 3/4 base attack bonus, and a good reflex save. Also, you get 6+ intelligence modifier for skill points, which is a slight downgrade for rogues and a slight upgrade for monks. These stats are okay, about what you'd expect for a rogue or monk. This is about the same stats as a scout actually, which makes sense for a class focused on mobility. As for features, this is a 10-level Prestige class that gives you at least 1 feature per level, so that is a good start, but the quality of the features is going to be what matters. At level 1, you get relative altitude. While on the Astral Plane, you are considered to always have the higher ground, thus you get that bonus on melee attacks at all times. This is not a bad feature, but if you wanted more attack bonus, you could have multi-classed into fighter. Already this Prestige class is off to a disappointing start. We will assume you're spending most of your time on the Astral Plane when playing this character, as it would be unfair to assume otherwise. Even so, this Prestige class is mostly just inferior to taking a few fighter levels aside from the loss of skill points and reflex save. At level 2 you get Evasion, which only functions in an area with no gravity, such as the Astral Plane. That's weird because 2 of the classes most likely to feed into this are Monk and Rogue, which already have Evasion. So getting a more limited version of a class feature you already have, not exactly satisfying. The fact you get the normal version of Evasion at level 4 means that this useless feature comes up twice in this Prestige class. It's almost insulting. At level 3 you get Improved Maneuverability. This improves your maneuverability when you double move or run while in the Astral Plane. This is useful as it means you can turn more tightly and stop more easily since you're technically flying and have to deal with the maneuverability rules. But even assuming you spend the entire campaign on the Astral Plane, how often are you double moving or running? This lets you hover, move, or reverse while double moving, make any turn, but that's about it. And when you run, you can turn 90 degrees instead of 45 degrees and turn downward at any angle instead of only up to 45 degrees. And you only must travel 5 feet instead of 10 after diving before climbing up again. However, since running needs to be in a straight line, a lot of this doesn't really help. This is a nice feature if your DM actually remembers to use the maneuverability rules for flight, but otherwise it's going to be useless. At level 4 you get Full Evasion. Another level wasted on a feature you probably already have, and even if you didn't, and you weren't coming into this as a rogue, you could have just taken 2 levels of rogue and gotten Full Evasion already, plus getting Sneak Attack, which is a more useful feature. At level 5 you get Astral Dodge, which gives you a +2 dodge bonus to armor class in an environment with no gravity, or +1 if it has gravity. So if you aren't in the Astral Plane, you might as well have kept on taking monk levels because you would have already gotten another bonus to AC by now from that class anyway. But the extra +1 in the Astral Plane is helpful. The only problem with this feature is that you don't get it earlier. At level 6 you get Improved Evasion, which works the same as it normally does. If you were a monk straight out, you would have gotten this 2 levels ago. If you were a rogue, you would have gotten it 1 level ago, if you chose as your special ability. Not only are you late getting it here, but once again, it only works in 0 gravity. You want to have it work anywhere? Then you're going to have to wait till level 8 of this Prestige class. At level 7 you get Astral Agility. This lets you switch places with an adjacent creature once per round as a move action if you succeed on an opposed intelligence check. They have to be your size or smaller, and this movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Sort of an interesting ability, and might be good for maneuvering a foe into flanking with an ally standing behind you, but for what real purpose? Unless there's a rogue behind you who actually maxed out his levels in that class, it's not going to be much of a change. At level 8, you finally get improved evasion that works in all environments. Another level wasted on this feature. It's kind of sad to watch a prestige class so blatantly torpedo itself and its structure. 4 levels dedicated to a feature you probably already have, trying to make it unique by having it apply only in zero gravity, then giving you the fully functional version of the feature a few levels later anyway. One has to wonder, what were they thinking when they wrote this? At level 9, your improved maneuverability from level 3 improves again, so that you maintain perfect maneuverability while double moving, and have average went up to 4 times your speed while running. Another improvement, but as your only level 9 feature among a host of other mediocre features, it's hard to get exciting. Perfect maneuverability is nice, but again, double moving isn't going to happen that often. And when you're running, having the average maneuverability is nice too, but it's not going to make enough of a difference to your character in most cases. Finally, at level 10, your astral dodge improves to +4 in no gravity or +2 in gravity. This is an extra +2 AC beyond what a monk would get at this level, so long as you're in zero gravity. That isn't nothing, but it's not amazing either. Even better is your other feature, lightning speed. Your movements in a zero gravity environment no longer provokes attacks of opportunity at all. So your mobility feat becomes worthless, but that's because you perfected the concept. This is a great feature, but is it worth being a capstone for a 10 level prestige class? It's hard to be too excited here. Not provoking attacks of opportunity anymore is nice, but you can usually avoid that by tumbling around, and if you were a higher level monk, you'd have a high enough movement speed to be able to just basically take that slower maneuver, or that slower movement speed from tumbling. Overall, the Astral Dancer is pretty bad. It wastes 2 levels giving you a feature that you likely already have, and another 2 levels giving you an improved version that you should have simply been given in full. This bizarre 2-stage evasion hardly makes sense, and it definitely is not acceptable as the only feature for that level. The improved maneuverability is situational but nice. The astral agility feature can be nice in some rare cases. The astral dodge feature is the only one that really is any good, but you had to take several useless feats just to qualify for this prestige class, and suffer through all 10 levels just to get a +2 dodge bonus over what you'd have gotten from continuing in monk. And of course, not provoking attacks of opportunity is nice, but look at what you give up. 3 feat slots, 10 levels that don't advance your rogue, scout, or monk abilities in any way, and in the case of monk, your amazing saving throw progression. You don't get any more sneak attack, you don't get anything else that helps you be effective, just some situational bonuses to moving around in the astral plane that don't really help you that much, and some really terrible features that hold the prestige class back. At best, this could have been 5 levels, but even so, it's hard to see wanting to take this. The Astral Dancer gets 3 stars for concept, but only 1 star for execution. It will torpedo your monk or rogue character's effectiveness. +2 armor class and being able to move without attacks of opportunity is just not worth it. Take ranks in tumble and more levels in monk to improve your speed, and you'll basically have the same effect. This prestige class should have been 5 levels, and your astral dodge should have been there right away. All of the evasion levels could be cut out, meaning you'd only have to condense 1 more level after that to bring this down to a 5 level prestige class. Relative altitudes bonus should have been improved more later on, or at least had some sort of damage bonus added on as well. As is, even for a character who never leaves the astral plane, this prestige class is just awful. If you take levels in this prestige class in a campaign on the Astral Sea, you're probably going to find yourself dying there. It's hard to see a single build that this works well with, or a class that it synergizes with, without being cut down drastically and being given more combat-related bonuses to astral plane zero gravity combat. It's just best to avoid the Astral Dancer entirely. So, that'll be about it for this D&D 3.5 Prestige Class review. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and so on. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time here on 3.5 Archive.